What's going on, everybody? ASCII Adam here. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on the channel and subscribe to get future Division 2 updates. Gonna skip the intro today. Just a quick video. Somebody had asked me about the Believe build that I had presented in the PTS, and it had the ongoing directive set. So I just thought I would update on that build and what it's good for, what it's not good for. So just really quick, this is really a solo build. The ongoing directive set is really geared towards the solo player. And I would also say that this is not a very good heroic build. But if you're solo, you know, you're kind of casual, and you mostly do challenging missions, this will run you through challenging missions very easily. I just finished one. You'll see the gameplay footage of it. It is like a cakewalk. So basically, again, this is an AR build, and it's using 4-piece ongoing directive. As you can see, I have 3,400 skill power. I have 231,000 armor, which is not great, but it's not terrible. And really, this makes the difference in whether it's a heroic build or not, if you can survive. This just doesn't have the survivability, especially with the grenade damage, the explosive damage now in TU6. So the reason I also say that this is a solo build is it's not that you can't play it in a group, it's just much harder to get the damage out of it, because if you don't know, the 4-piece ongoing directive, well, the 3-piece, whenever you reload, you pick up all armor kits, ammo, grenades within 40 meters. The 4-piece is when you kill an enemy affected by a status effect, it drops explosive special ammo. Now, that's actually really good, and this actually hits really hard. You can go through enemies very fast, but it takes that killing in order to keep up the consistent damage. The other thing that happens is the explosive ammo actually bleeds the target. So in shooting them with explosive ammo, you're giving yourself more explosive ammo, because then you're killing a bleeding target, which again triggers the 4-piece bonus. So it really takes a flow, and if you're in a group, you don't get all the kills, and that flow can be interrupted, and so you're not doing the damage that you could do. And that's why I call it a solo build. But it really is a lot of fun. So if you're watching the gameplay footage, you know, take a look at that, and you can see I switch to this a lot when I'm playing solo, just because I enjoy playing the build. So I don't want you to, if you've been playing this game for a long time, you might want to build something like this and just, you know, use it when you're just messing around. But one of the reasons that I wanted to show this is because this build is pretty easy to build, because it works around the ongoing directive. Those pieces are pretty easy to get now. So if you're new to the game, you could set this up and potentially have this as your grinding build. And so basically, I start with an AR, and this is a bleed build. That's why you clicked on it. It's from the thumbnail. But you're going to base this build around the Hive and the ongoing directive. Both of these bleed. The 4-piece bleeds when you kill somebody with a status affected, and the Hive bleeds. And then you're also going to have Sadist on your weapon. Now, it doesn't matter what weapon you use, but I'm using an AR, and I actually picked this one because it's a tactical MK16. I don't know if it's better or worse, but it has a higher damage than most of my other ARs, so I picked it. So I threw Sadist on it, or it actually had Sadist on it. No, I put it on there. And then it had Allegro, so why not, you know? But Sadist, you deal 30% weapon damage to bleeding enemies, and after 3 kills, it applies a bleed to the next enemy you hit. So, you're bleeding from that, you're getting 30% extra damage to bleeding enemies, you're bleeding from your 4-piece special ammo, and you're bleeding from your Hive. The next skill, you can pretty much choose whatever you want. I switch out between the turret and the drone, and I'm starting to use the drone because I actually got some really good mods for it. Well, not really good, they're actually just decent. But I got a 474% striker damage, a 189 damage, and a 195 damage. So I just threw that on there. Why not? I am using the Merciless as the secondary so that I get the, while holstered, landing a shot has a 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage. Why not? And I'm using In Rhythm just to possibly get a skill back quicker. I put In Rhythm on anything that has skill power, so it is that. My mask is the Ongoing Directive, 25% bleed damage for the 2-piece set. Again, the 3-piece set, when you reload, it picks up all of your ammo, grenades, and armor kits. 4-piece, killing an enemy affected by a status effect, drops explosive ammo. I've got 42% damage to elites. Again, not the greatest, but I really haven't found those high damage to elites yet. 26% skill haste. I have a 2% damage to armor, 2% damage to health, and 1% weapon damage. And I'm using this, I've got a couple of these actually, because I just thought I'd test to see if maybe I noticed a difference between that and just going straight AR damage, you know, the 4 or 5% AR damage with 1% weapon damage, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm just testing. Then the chest, I have a Fenris because of the 10% assault rifle damage, 8.5% weapon damage, 11.5 armor, and 862 skill power. It also has vigilance, which is the gain 25% weapon damage. Taking damage disables the buff for 4 seconds. And self-adjusting, which I don't actually think is working because I don't have anything to regain armor. So, whatever. It is what it is. Holster, again, Ongoing Directive. 42% skill haste modified. Yes, I do have some decent rolls on this gear. 459 skill power. Again, well, this one's an assault rifle, so I did put one of those on there, and this one's an assault rifle, so I've got 2 of those. But I do have a couple more of the damage to armor and damage to health. And I'll show you my stats here when I'm done so that you can see. This one has explosive damage. I guess I don't really need it, but it was the China Light. It will help when I get the proc from the secondary weapon, the Merciless. It's an extra 10% explosive damage. 587 skill power, 2% crit hit, and 20,000 health. This also has, this is the strategic alignment, so I've got perfect spark. Damaging enemies with skills or explosives grants 25% weapon damage. So spark is always up. So I'm getting another 20% weapon damage from this all the time, basically. Hard hitting for the 25% damage to elites. Some skill power. Gloves again. Ongoing Directive. 287 skill power, 9% assault rifle damage. I've got a higher roll than that, but it's on another build, so I'm not using it here. And here's my 2% weapon damage, 1% damage to armor, 2% damage to health. And finally, the knee pads, I actually re-rolled because this had skill power on it. I was at 4,000 skill power, so I rolled that to 10.5% armor damage to get me up. I was at 217, I think, and now I'm at 231. And I've got the assault rifle damage, weapon damage, and then I've got 3% total armor, which actually I have a 4% now. I could change that out and get a little bit higher, but it doesn't matter. You know, percent armor and armor. Oh, let's see. On my Hive, I don't have the greatest of mods because you don't necessarily need them. I've got a 95% damage. I've got a 95% charges. Actually, I do have decent mods, and I think another charges, yes, and a 96% charges. So I do have pretty good charges. So I've got 23 charges, but you don't. When you're watching the gameplay footage, I only use this really to get. Whenever I have lost my rhythm and I've killed somebody and I don't have my special ammo, because the special ammo bleeds, but if you don't have the special ammo, you use this to get the bleed to get the ball rolling. Now, again, it's more damage, so there's no reason not to have it out if you've got the charges. But even if you don't have as many charges as I do, you could throw it out there, get your bleed started, get your roll started, pick it back up, and then let it recharge while you're killing. And you'll, as long as you're killing something that you've bled, you're going to keep getting that special ammo to keep bleeding and keep bleeding and keep bleeding. So that is the build. Let me show you the stats real quick. Stats are 55% headshot damage. I don't have any crit. I have 15% all weapon damage bonus, which isn't super high. 46% assault rifle damage. I have 80% damage to elites. I have 4% damage to armor and 33% damage to health. And those are really the significant stats. So, but if you add it all up, so I'm getting 20% damage from Spark. I'm getting 30% damage from Sadist. I'm getting 25% damage from Vigilance on top of the 60-something damage that I have. So you're talking 60, 70, 80, 90... 110, 140-ish weapon damage, plus some explosive damage, plus explosive ammo. So it really does kill very fast. Anyway, that is the build. Of course, again, I'm going to say it just like the other content creators. This is a template. Use it how you want. Again, not really an in-game, like super in-game build, but fun to run. I really enjoy running it. So if you want to, give it a try. Let me know what you think. Take it easy. Bye.